Hi, guys, welcome. This will be a love situation reading. I'm going to be looking at the recent past, current situation, and what's coming next in your love life. And I'm doing two groups, so this will be group number one, and this will be group number two. So choose whichever you like better, whichever deck feels better for you. And I'm going to start with group number one. Okay, so group number one, welcome. As I said, this is a love situation reading. I'm going to be looking at the recent past in your love life, current situation, and near future. So let's start with the recent past and let's see what was going on. What was going on there? So let's see what has been happening in your love life recently. What was happening in the recent past in your love life? Let's see. We have Five of Wands in reverse. We have Eight of Wands. And we have Three of Swords. So I see you in the recent past where you were tired of conflict. With the Five of Wands in reverse, I feel like you didn't want drama anymore. So you were not interested in fighting here. You were not interested in competing or going back and forth. I feel like you wanted peace or at least, some emotional balance and, things being quiet. Here I see you choosing not to engage the same way you used to. You're not arguing, you're not pushing, you're almost stepping back from the drama. And then we have the Eight of Wands. And this feels like things moving fast anyway. I see messages, conversations, emotions, everything was speeding up. I feel like even though you wanted calm, the situation did not slow down here. So there may have been sudden communication or sudden realization or some sort of quick changes. Things happened before you had time to process them properly here. And then Three of Swords. And this is the emotional result of the first two cards. So I see heartbreak, disappointment, and some sort of emotional pain here. This is not confusion, this is hurt. So I feel something was said in these messages or conversations here, something was revealed or realized that made things very clear and very painful. And I don't think that this was subtle. This was a moment where the truth hurts. So in the recent past, you tried to avoid conflict. Things moved quickly anyway, and then it ended with emotional pain. And I feel like here you wanted peace, but instead you got clarity, even if it hurt. So that's the energy you're coming out from. And now let's take what's going on currently in your love life. What's the current energy in your love life right now? And we have Queen of Pentacles, we have the Hermit, and we have the King of Swords. So here with the Queen of Pentacles, I feel like you're taking care of yourself right now. This is a very grounded energy. I feel like you're focused on your well-being and your stability in your life. And I don't think you're chasing anything emotionally. You're just protecting your peace here. So I see you putting your energy into what feels safe and real, like work, like your routine, like home and yourself. So there's a sense of you needing to be okay in your own space here. And then we have the Hermit. And this is actually showing me that you're distancing yourself by choice, because this is you stepping back emotionally. It's not like you're hiding, you're just needing space to think and process. So you're not looking for any distractions, you just want clarity here. And I feel like you want to understand what you've been through before moving forward. Just thinking about everything very clearly and taking your time. And then we have the King of Swords. And I feel like this is your mindset right now. It's very clear, it's very logical, it's very direct. I see you cutting through confusion, and you're kind of asking yourself questions like, does this make sense? Is this healthy? Does this align with what I want? I feel like all these questions are now coming from you, stepping back with this hermit energy and being trying to be very clear about things. So I feel like emotions are not running the show right now. I feel like you're having more self-respect for you, and you're not being cold at all. Like, I feel like you're being clear with yourself here. And I see you as grounded, reflective, and very mentally sharp and clear. So I feel like you're choosing clarity over emotion right now, and you're choosing distance over any kind of drama. And I see you in a space where you're no longer reacting, you're kind of deciding on something. So that's the current energy. And now let's see what's going to be happening next in your love life. What's next for your love life here? We have Three of Wands, we have the King of Cups, and we have the Six of Pentacles. So the Three of Wands are already telling me forward movement. There is some sort of forward movement coming in. This is energy of expansion. So I feel like you're no longer stuck in the past situation. You're looking ahead. You know, you look open here, like you're ready for something different, even if you don't know exactly what it looks like yet. I just see you expecting more now. Not hoping, but expecting. So that's a change in energy. And then we have the King of Cups. And this feels like emotional maturity coming into your love life. This could be you or someone coming towards you. But either way, the energy is very calm and emotionally steady. So this is very mature. I feel less emotional drama around you and more emotional control. So this is someone who can feel deeply but doesn't act impulsively. That's the King of Cups energy. So this is someone who can talk about feelings without getting overwhelmed. And then we have the Six of Pentacles. And I see balance, I see equal effort, and I see giving and receiving. So I feel a connection where you're no longer the one over giving or waiting. I feel like energy here is flowing both ways. So whatever you put in, you get back. So I feel like what's next in love for you is way healthier, more balanced, more emotionally mature. So this feels like a situation where communication is way calmer, effort is mutual, and you don't have to guess where you stand. And it doesn't feel rushed. It just it feels real. And I feel like it's going to grow because both people show up here. So that's what's coming next. And I'm going to pull three more cards for an advice. So what is the best advice for you right now for love based on where you've been and what's coming next? Let's see. What's the best advice for you right now for love? And we have Page of Cups, Eight of Swords, and Nine of Swords. So here we start with the Page of Cups. So this is you still wanting that emotional connection. I feel you being open and very curious about love. So you're not closed off, you're just careful. And then you got the energy of Eight of Swords. This is mental restriction. I see overthinking, second guessing, limiting beliefs, and your thoughts are keeping you stuck more than the situation itself. And then the Nine of Swords shows what this does to you emotionally. It gives you anxiety, stress, replaying things in your head, especially when you are alone with your thoughts here. So what's the advice? The advice here is that your desire for the connection is not a problem, but letting fear run your thoughts is. So you need to stay open to love, but don't let overthinking punish you for it. Calm the mind so it doesn't drown out what you feel. So that's the advice for you to keep, be mindful of that. So, group number one, um, in your energy, it was shown movement out of heartbreak. So you're moving on from that. You're going into clarity and towards something more balanced here. And the advice is to stay emotionally open while keeping your thoughts in check. So if this resonated, take what fits and leave the rest. Like and subscribe, and leave me a comment if the reading has resonated. And now I'm going to be doing group number two. Hello, group number two. If you chose this group, this reading will be looking at your recent past in love, current situation, and what's coming next. So let's see what happened in the recent past when it comes to your love life. Okay. What was happening in the recent past for group number two when it comes to love? We have Knight of Wands, Page of Wands, and we have Three of Wands. So here we have a lot of wands, a lot of fire energy. So I see a lot of movement and excitement in the recent past. With the Knight of Wands, I feel impulsive energy here. So I feel like things moved fast. There was attraction, there was chemistry, and I feel like there was a lot of movement that was happening impulsively. So there was not much pause here. There was more reacting than thinking. That's the energy. That's the fire energy here. So I see passion, but I also see inconsistency. So someone came in strong and then it changed. Because with the Knight of Wands, that's always the energy of being hot and cold, in and out. This could be a situation that felt exciting but unstable. And then we have the Page of Wands. So this is showing curiosity and new interest. So this was something that felt fresh and or promising, but I feel like it was also early stage. This was not something that was fully formed. So this is a lot of excitement or enthusiasm or curiosity, but without direction. So this is interest without a clear plan. And then we have the Three of Wands, and I see this like waiting. I see you looking ahead, expecting something more to come from this. So you were open, you were hopeful, and I feel like you were watching to see where things would go. But I also feel uncertainty here, like you were left wondering if the energy would actually move forward or just stay the potential. So in the recent past, things started with excitement and momentum, but they were not serious. There was interest and attraction and possibility, but I feel like all of that was followed by waiting and wondering. So it felt like something that could grow, but it didn't fully take shape. So let's see what's the current situation. What's the current situation in love for group number two? We have the Hanged Man, the Hermit, and we have the Hierophant. So right away I see things slowing down with the Hanged Man. So this feels like a pause or waiting. So nothing is really moving forward right now. It feels like you're stuck in some sort of holding pattern or trying to understand what the situation means before making a move. So I see you just looking at things from a different angle or, trying to see something from a different perspective, kind of questioning your choices here and maybe wondering if it's worth continuing the same way. And then we have the Hermit. So here is you retreating. I feel like it's by choice, like you're stepping back emotionally to think clearly. I don't think you're shutting down, but I feel like you need space from some sort of pressure. I see you You could be reading about something or learning about something here. We see a book here, you writing something, so it looks like you're learning about something. And I feel like you are probably asking yourself, what do you want? Um, does it make sense to you, or are you repeating something from the past? It's a lot of self reflection here. This is not loneliness. I see you being busy with your thoughts, learning about something, looking into something. And then we have the Hierophant. And this is bringing your values into focus. I see you questioning commitment, structure, or meaning of a long-term relationships. So I feel like you're not interested in something that's undefined anymore. This is telling me that you want something that aligns with your beliefs and not just attraction, but something very solid and something very intentional. So right now, you are kind of on pause because you are reevaluating everything, and you're kind of pulling back with the Hermit to gain some clarity, to learn about something, to think about things. And I feel like you are actually measuring this situation against your deeper values. So this is not about waiting on someone else. I feel like this is about deciding what kind of love you're willing to create going forward. And let's see what's coming next for you in love. What's coming next for group number 2 when it comes to love? We have Two of Swords, we have Ten of Swords, and we have the Three of Cups. So here with the Two of Swords, I see a decision coming up, and I feel like this is something you cannot avoid anymore. I feel like you've been holding two options in your hands, or two truths, trying not to choose and trying to keep the peace by staying kind of neutral, but this cannot last. And then we have the Ten of Swords, and I feel like this is some kind of a turning point for you. I see an ending, something mentally and emotionally exhausting finally reaching the end. And I feel like this is not betrayal out of nowhere. This is something that's already been heavy, but now it's coming to a stop. I feel like relief mixed with pain here. It's like that hurt, but you cannot keep doing that. And then we have the Three of Cups, and this is a shift in your energy. So I see relief coming. I feel like some lightness is coming back into your energy. This could be reconnecting with friends or feeling supported, enjoying yourself again. I see, laughter and social energy coming back in your life. So I feel like you're coming back to yourself after this ending here. So what's coming next is a necessary ending followed by this emotional relief. And I feel like you're not jumping straight into deep commitment, but you're going into a more lighter energy, more supportive energy, and just overall, you want to feel lighter again. So this is about healing through connection, not isolation. And I feel like you're not alone after this. You will be supported. And let's see what's the advice for you going forward when it comes to love. What's the advice for group number 2 going forward in love? We have Three of Swords, we have the Lovers, and we have Nine of Wands. So we have Three of Swords, and you will maybe still carrying this pain from the past. I feel like this emotional hurt that didn't fully cleared yet. And this is not fresh pain. This is something you've already lived through, but it's still there. And the advice here is not to pretend that it didn't hurt. You need to acknowledge it. So what hurts you matters, and brushing it aside would only carry it into the next situation. And then we have the Lovers. So the lovers comes in, and this shifts the focus to choice. And I feel like this card is a strong reminder that love is a decision and not just a feeling. So I feel like you're being asked to choose what aligns with your values, not what feels familiar or intense. So, we also have Nine of Wands. I see you tired but still standing. And the advice here is to not give up, but at the same time, do not overextend yourself either. Protect your boundaries. You don't need to prove your strength by enduring more than you should. So the advice here is pretty much to let yourself admit what hurt you, choose love that aligns with your values and not your wounds, and keep your boundaries up because you've earned them. So this is not about closing your heart, it's about choosing better while staying strong. So this group showed a lot of reflection. There was a difficult ending here, and then a return to this lighter energy. And the advice here is to acknowledge what hurt and to make it conscious choice in love and protect your boundaries as you move forward. So you don't need to rush into anything. You've already been through enough to know what you deserve. And if this resonated, take what fits and leave the rest. I thank you for being here, and I'll see you in the next reading.